Maya Chen stepped off the transport ship and looked around the landing bay. Everything was huge. The ceiling stretched so high she could barely see it. The walls were made of some kind of white stone that glowed softly. Alien students walked past her, talking in languages she did not understand. She pulled her bag closer to her body. The bag was small and simple, holding everything she owned. Most students had floating cases and bags that moved by themselves. Maya preferred to carry her own things. A tall blue creature with 4 arms approached her. It wore the uniform of Academy staff. "You must be the human exchange student," it said in perfect English. "I am Administrator Keth. Welcome to Galactic Academy." Maya nodded. "Thank you. I am Maya Chen. Follow me. I will show you to your dormitory." Keth walked quickly on long legs. Maya had to work hard to keep up, but she did not complain. Other students stared at her as they walked through the corridors. She heard whispers in different languages. Some words she understood because she had studied Galactic Common during her trip here. So small. Is that really a Deathworlder? Looks weak. Maya kept her face calm. She was used to people looking at her strangely. On Earth, she was normal size. Here she felt like a child among giants. They passed a large window that showed the academy grounds. Gardens stretched in every direction. Strange trees with purple leaves swayed in the gentle breeze. Students sat on the grass reading or talking. Everything looked peaceful and safe. "Your room is here," Keth said, stopping at a door. "Your roommate is Jake Morrison. He is from Zenthari Prime, very curious about human culture." The door opened to show a bright room with 2 beds. One bed was normal size. The other was much larger and had a heating pad on it. A creature that looked like a large lizard with fur sat on the big bed. "Hello," the creature said. "I am Jake. You must be Maya." "Yes, nice to meet you." Jake's eyes were big and yellow. He tilted his head like a curious dog. "I have never met a human before. Is it true that you come from a death world?" Maya put her bag on her bed. "Earth is classified as a Class 12 dangerous planet, yes. Wow, what is it like?" Maya thought about how to answer. How could she explain hurricanes and earthquakes to someone whose planet had perfect weather every day? How could she describe lions and bears to someone whose biggest predator was the size of a house cat? "Different," she said finally. "Are you genetically modified?" Jake asked. "Most Deathworlders need special changes to survive normal worlds." "No modifications," Maya said quietly. Jake's eyes got even bigger. "None at all? But how do you survive in our low gravity? Our thin air?" Maya sat on her bed. The mattress was softer than anything on Earth. "I just do." The next morning, Maya woke up before sunrise. This was normal for her. On Earth, early morning was the safest time to exercise. Predators were sleeping and the weather was usually calm. She did her daily exercises in the small space between the beds. Push-ups, sit-ups, stretches. She moved quietly so Jake would not wake up, but Jake was already awake. He watched with amazement as Maya did 100 push-ups without breathing hard. When she finished, he pretended to be asleep. At breakfast, Maya sat alone at a small table. The cafeteria was full of students from dozens of different species. She recognized some from her study materials. The tall gray ones were Corvani warriors. The floating jellyfish-like creatures were Mindari telepaths. The small bright-colored ones were glitter wings. A glitter wing landed on her table. It was no bigger than Maya's hand and looked like a tiny person with butterfly wings. "Hello," it said in a voice like tiny bells. "I am Pip. You are the human, yes?" "Yes, I am Maya. I have heard about humans. You come from a very dangerous world." Maya took a bite of her breakfast. It tasted like nothing she had ever eaten before, but it was good. Some people think so. "Are you dangerous?" Pip asked. Maya looked at the tiny creature. On Earth, something this small and delicate would be eaten by a bird in seconds. Here it was a fully grown person with its own thoughts and feelings. "I hope not," Maya said. Her first class was combat theory with Professor Veltar. The professor was an Arctanian with 8 arms and skin that changed colors when she talked. "Welcome to combat theory," Professor Veltar said. "Today we will discuss the basics of self-defense and conflict resolution." Maya took notes quietly. She sat in the back corner where she could see everyone but nobody could see her easily. "Can anyone tell me the most important rule of combat?" the professor asked. A Corvani student raised his hand. "Always strike first?" "No, anyone else?" Maya knew the answer, but she did not raise her hand. "The most important rule is to avoid combat entirely," Professor Veltar said. Fighting should be the last choice, never the first. Maya nodded quietly. Her teachers on Earth had said the same thing, but for different reasons. After class, the Corvani student approached her. He was huge, nearly 8 feet tall with muscles that showed even through his clothes. His name was HFY. You are the human, he said. It was not a question. Yes. I have heard that humans are supposed to be strong fighters. You do not look strong. Maya looked up at him. Even standing, her head only came to his chest. I try not to fight. HFY laughed. Good thing. You would not last long. He walked away with his friends. Maya heard them talking and laughing. She caught some words. Tiny. Weak. Probably needs help opening doors. Maya picked up her books and walked to her next class. She had expected this. People always judged by appearance first. That evening, Jake asked her about her classes. How do you like Professor Veltar? She is very smart, Maya said. Did you meet HFY? He is the strongest student in our year. Maybe in the whole academy. We met briefly. He is not mean, just very proud. Corvani culture values strength above everything else. Maya nodded. She understood pride. But on Earth, the proudest predators were often the first to die. Over the next few days, Maya settled into a routine. She woke early and exercised quietly. She went to classes and took notes. She studied alone in the library. She spoke only when asked direct questions. Other students began to ignore her. She was just the quiet human girl who sat in the back and never caused trouble. Some felt sorry for her. Others forgot she was there at all. Maya was fine with this. Being invisible was often the safest way to be. But Professor Veltar noticed things others missed. She saw that Maya's test scores were perfect. She saw that Maya's essays showed deep understanding of combat theory and strategy. She saw that when Maya did speak, her answers were always correct. Most interesting of all, she saw that Maya never seemed afraid, even when bigger students tried to intimidate her. The human girl just watched and waited like she was solving a puzzle only she could see. Maya had been at the academy for 3 weeks. She followed the same routine every day. Wake up early, exercise quietly, go to classes, study alone, sleep early. Other students had stopped staring at her. She was just part of the background now. Jake tried many times to get her to join social activities. There is a party tonight in the common room, he would say. Or some students are playing gravity ball in the gym. Maya always politely said no thank you. Do you not like fun? Jake asked one evening. Maya was reading a book about galactic history. I like quiet, but you are missing so much. How will you make friends? Maya looked up from her book. I am not here to make friends. I am here to learn. Jake's head tilted. Why did you really come here, Maya? She was quiet for a long moment. My government thinks humans need to understand other species better. They chose me because I am good at staying out of trouble. Are humans usually troublesome? Maya went back to her book. Sometimes. In xenobiology class, Dr. Nex showed them specimens from different worlds. She held up a small, furry creature with big eyes. This is a fluff pod from Gentle Prime, Dr. Nex said. Notice the soft fur and large eyes. These features help it survive in its peaceful environment. Can anyone guess what it eats? Plants, several students called out. Correct. It eats only soft fruits and flower petals. Dr. Nex put the creature back in its habitat. Now this next specimen is quite dangerous. Please stay back. She brought out a larger container. Inside was something that looked like a cross between a rabbit and a small dinosaur. It had sharp claws and teeth. This is a razor claw from Wild Moon. It is one of the most dangerous predators in the outer systems. Notice the claws and the aggressive posture. Maya looked at the creature. It was about the size of a house cat. Its claws were maybe 2 inches long. On Earth, she had seen house cats that looked more dangerous. Excuse me, Maya said quietly. Everyone turned to look at her. She rarely spoke in class. Yes, Maya? Dr. Nex said. What does it hunt? Small herbivores mostly, sometimes insects. Maya nodded and said nothing more. But she was thinking about the mountain lions that lived near her home on Earth. Adult mountain lions were 6 feet long and weighed 150 pounds. Their claws were 4 inches long. They hunted deer and elk, animals much larger than themselves. If this razor claw was considered dangerous by galactic standards, what would they think of Earth predators? Have you seen creatures like this before? Dr. Nex asked. Similar, Maya said. But bigger? The class laughed. They thought she was joking. During lunch, Maya sat with Pip the Glitterwing. Pip was one of the few students who was not afraid to talk to her. The other students think you are strange, Pip said, landing on Maya's shoulder. I know. They say you never have fun. They say you are always serious. Maya ate her food slowly. It still tasted strange, but she was getting used to it. On my world, being serious keeps you alive. Is Earth really that dangerous? Maya thought about how to answer. Yesterday, she had received a message from home. There had been an earthquake in California. A hurricane was heading for Florida. Forest fires were burning in Australia. Just normal Earth things. Yes, she said simply. What is the most dangerous thing on Earth? Maya was quiet for a long time. Humans, she said finally. That afternoon in combat theory class, Professor Veltar talked about different fighting styles from across the galaxy. Each species has developed combat techniques based on their physical abilities, she said. Corvani use their strength and size. Mindari use telepathic attacks. Glitterwings use speed and group tactics. She looked around the room. What about humans, Maya? What fighting style do humans use? Every head turned to look at Maya. She felt uncomfortable being the center of attention. We use whatever works, she said. Can you be more specific? Maya thought carefully about her answer. Humans adapt. We study our opponent and find their weakness. Zexai laughed loudly. What weakness could you find in me, little human? Maya looked at him calmly. She saw that he favored his right side slightly. An old injury, probably. His stance was too wide, which would make him slow to change direction. He telegraphed his emotions on his face, which meant she would see his attacks coming. I would rather not say, Maya said quietly. Because there is none, Zexai said proudly. Corvani are the greatest warriors in the galaxy. Professor Veltar's skin changed to a thoughtful purple color. Maya, what can you tell us about human physical capabilities? We are adapted for our environment, Maya said. Which is? Maya was quiet for a moment. Heavy gravity. Extreme weather. Large predators. Limited resources. Sounds terrible, someone whispered. It is home, Maya said. That evening, Jake watched Maya do her exercises again. She moved in ways that seemed impossible. Her body bent and twisted like it had no bones. She lifted her own weight easily over and over. Maya, Jake said when she finished. She looked at him, not even breathing hard. How strong are you exactly? Maya sat on her bed. Strong enough. But compared to other humans? I am average. Jake's eyes went wide. Average? Maya nodded. Maybe a little below average. I was never very athletic. Jake tried to do one push-up and failed. Maya had just done 200 without stopping. What is average for a human? Jake asked. Maya thought about her little sister, who was only 12 years old. Last summer, her sister had climbed a cliff face that would challenge most professional mountain climbers on other worlds. It depends, Maya said. The next day in the cafeteria, Zexai was showing off again. He had challenged other students to arm wrestling matches and won every single one. His table was surrounded by impressed students. Who else wants to try? Zexai called out. Anyone think they can beat Corvani's strength? His eyes found Maya across the cafeteria. What about you, human? Want to test your average strength? Maya kept eating her lunch. No thank you. Come on, Zexai said louder. Do not be scared. I will go easy on you. Other students started to whisper and point. Maya felt all their eyes on her. I do not want to arm wrestle, Maya said clearly. Why not? Zexai demanded. Afraid you will get hurt? Maya looked at him across the cafeteria. Her voice was very quiet, but somehow everyone heard her. I am afraid you will get hurt. The cafeteria went silent. Then everyone started laughing. The idea of tiny Maya hurting giant Zexai seemed ridiculous. Zexai laughed loudest of all. The little human thinks she can hurt me? This is the funniest thing I have heard all year. Maya finished her lunch and left quietly. Behind her, students were still laughing and making jokes, but Professor Veltar was there and she was not laughing. She had heard something in Maya's voice that the others missed. It was not a boast or a threat. It was a simple statement of fact, said with the certainty of someone who knew exactly what she was capable of. The professor made a note to watch Maya more carefully. Something told her that the quiet human girl was not as harmless as she appeared. Maya was in the library when Professor Veltar found her. The professor's skin was a calm blue color, which meant she was thinking deeply about something. Maya, may I speak with you? Maya looked up from her book about galactic trade routes. Of course, Professor. Professor Veltar sat across from her. I have been watching you in class. Your test scores are perfect. Your essays show deep understanding, but you never demonstrate practical skills. I complete all assignments, Maya said. Yes, but our final exam includes a combat demonstration. Each student must show their species' natural fighting abilities. Maya closed her book slowly. I see. Is there a problem with this requirement? Maya was quiet for a long moment. I would prefer to write an additional essay instead. Why? I do not like to fight for entertainment. Professor Veltar's skin shifted to curious yellow. This is not entertainment. It is education. How else can we understand different species' capabilities? You can read about them, Maya said. Reading is not the same as seeing. The other students need to understand what humans are capable of. Maya's hands were very still on the table. No, they do not. What do you mean? Some knowledge is dangerous to have. Professor Veltar studied Maya's face. The human girl looked calm, but there was something in her eyes that made the professor feel uneasy. Maya, what exactly are you afraid will happen? I am not afraid, Maya said quietly. I am concerned. That afternoon, the news spread quickly through the academy. Professor Veltar had announced the combat demonstrations for next week. Every student would show their natural fighting abilities to the class. In the common room, students were excited and nervous. They talked about what techniques they would demonstrate. HFY was the most excited of all. Finally, a chance to show everyone what real combat looks like, he said to his friends. What about the human? Asked Lisa Park, a diplomatic student. Will she participate? She has to, HFY said. It is required, but she is so small, Lisa said. What if she gets hurt? HFY laughed. She will not get hurt. She will just embarrass herself trying to fight someone real. Jake found Maya in their room later. She was sitting on her bed, very still. I heard about the combat exam, Jake said. Maya nodded. Are you worried? Maya looked at him. Jake, what do you know about Earth predators? Jake tilted his head. Not much, why? The biggest predator on your world weighs how much? Maybe 50 pounds, Jake said. The spotted prowler. Maya nodded. On Earth, I have seen predators that weigh 800 pounds. I have seen birds that can break bones with their claws. I have seen snakes that can swallow animals whole. That sounds terrifying. It is normal, Maya said. Humans live among these creatures every day. We have learned to survive. What does this have to do with the combat exam? Maya stood up and walked to the window. Outside, students were playing games on the grass. Everything looked so peaceful. Humans do not fight like other species, she said. Other species fight to show dominance or to play. Humans fight to survive. There is a difference. Jake was starting to understand. You think you might hurt someone? I know I will. The next morning, word spread that Maya had requested to skip the combat demonstration. This made HFY angry. The little human is scared, he announced at breakfast. She knows she would lose, so she wants to hide. Maybe she just does not want to fight, Pip said quietly. Everyone has to fight, HFY said. Those are the rules. She cannot get special treatment just because she is weak. After breakfast, HFY found Maya walking to class. He blocked her path with his huge body. I heard you are trying to avoid the combat exam, he said. That is correct, Maya said. That is cowardly. Maya looked up at him. Yes, it is. HFY had expected her to argue or get angry. Her calm agreement surprised him. So you admit you are a coward. I am trying to be one, Maya said. It is safer for everyone. You are making all humans look weak, HFY said. Is this how your species handles challenges? By running away? Maya's face did not change, but something shifted in her eyes. My species handles challenges by surviving them. Prove it, HFY said loudly. Other students stopped to watch. I challenge you to the combat demonstration. Let everyone see what human fighting looks like. Maya shook her head. No. Scared? Yes. Of me? Maya looked at HFY for a long moment. Of what I might do to you. Students laughed at this. The idea of Maya hurting HFY still seemed impossible to them. HFY's face turned red with anger. You think you can hurt me? You? I do not think it, Maya said quietly. I know it. By evening, the whole academy was talking about HFY's challenge. Students took sides. Most supported HFY and thought Maya was being cowardly. A few, like Pip and Jake, worried that Maya was being pushed too far. Professor Veltar called Maya to her office. I understand there has been a challenge issued, the professor said. Yes. Are you going to accept? Maya sat in the chair across from the professor's desk. I do not want to, but Zexai will not stop until I do. And other students are starting to think humans are weak. This could cause problems for future human students. Professor Veltar's skin cycled through several colors. What are you not telling me, Maya? Maya was quiet for a very long time. Professor, what do you know about Earth's classification as a death world? It has extreme weather and dangerous wildlife. That is only part of it, Maya said. Earth is classified as the most dangerous inhabited planet in known space. The gravity is more than twice galactic standard. The weather can kill in minutes. The wildlife includes apex predators that hunt in organized groups. And humans survived in this environment? We did not just survive, Maya said. We became the dominant species. We pushed every other predator to the edge of extinction. We changed the climate of the entire planet. We are the reason Earth is so dangerous. Professor Veltar's skin turned pale white. What are you saying? I am saying that humans are not prey animals, Professor. We are predators, the most successful predators in the history of our world. Maya stood up. And now you want me to show the class what that looks like? Professor Veltar was very quiet. Can you control yourself? I have been controlling myself since I arrived, Maya said. Every human who leaves Earth goes through years of training to learn how to be safe around other species. We learn to move slowly, speak softly, never use our full strength. What happens if you stop controlling yourself? Maya looked out the window at the peaceful academy grounds. Students were walking and talking, feeling completely safe. Someone gets hurt, she said simply. That night, Maya made her decision. She found Zexai in the common room, surrounded by his friends. I accept your challenge, she said. The room went quiet. Zexai grinned widely. Tomorrow, Maya continued, in the combat arena. Standard rules. Excellent, Zexai said. Finally, we will see what humans are really made of. Maya looked at him with something that might have been pity. Yes, she said quietly. You will. As she walked away, she stopped at the door and looked back. Zexai, she said. I want you to know that I tried to avoid this. Are you apologizing in advance for losing? He laughed. Maya shook her head. I am apologizing in advance for winning. The Academy's main combat arena had never seen so many spectators. Students from every species filled the viewing areas. Word of the challenge had spread beyond the Academy. Even some professors from other departments came to watch. Maya arrived early and sat quietly in the preparation area. She had changed into simple exercise clothes that fit closely to her body. For the first time since arriving at the Academy, she was not wearing loose clothing to hide her build. Jake sat beside her. You do not have to do this, he said. Yes, I do, Maya replied. It has gone too far to stop now. Are you nervous? Maya looked at her hands. They were completely steady. No, that is the problem. Professor Veltar entered the preparation area. Her skin was cycling through worried colors. Maya, I have been thinking about our conversation yesterday, she said. Perhaps we should cancel this demonstration. Too late for that, Maya said. If I back down now, every student will think humans are cowards. Future human students will face the same challenges I have faced, but worse. Dr. Okafor, the human cultural liaison, arrived looking stressed. Maya, your Earth supervisors sent an urgent message. They do not want you to participate in combat demonstrations. Did you tell them it was too late? Maya asked. They said to remind you of Protocol 7. Maya's face went very still. Protocol 7 was the emergency code that meant retreat immediately to prevent diplomatic incident. I cannot retreat, Maya said. It would cause more problems than it solves. Maya, Dr. Okafor said seriously, they are worried about what might happen if you stop holding back. So am I, Maya said quietly. But holding back will not work much longer. Better to show them the truth in a controlled environment than to have them discover it by accident later. In the other preparation area, Zexai was warming up with his friends. He was stretching his massive muscles and practicing combat stances. He looked confident and excited. This will be over quickly, he told his friends. The little human probably does not even know how to throw a punch properly. Lisa Park, the diplomatic student, approached his group.
Zexai, maybe you should be more careful.
What if she gets hurt? I will be gentle, Zexai laughed. I do not want to actually damage her. What if she hurts you? Lisa asked. Everyone laughed at this suggestion. The idea still seemed impossible to them. The arena itself was impressive. It was a large circular space with a padded floor and energy barriers to protect spectators. Medical teams waited on standby, though they were rarely needed. Most Academy combat demonstrations were more like dance performances than actual fights. Professor Veltar stood in the center of the arena. "Today we have a special demonstration," she announced. Zexhai of the Corvani will demonstrate traditional warrior techniques. Maya Chen of Earth will demonstrate human combat methods. The crowd cheered for Zexhai and politely clapped for Maya. "Standard Academy rules apply," Professor Veltar continued. "No permanent damage. Stop when your opponent yields. Safety systems are active." She looked at both contestants. "Are you ready?" Zexhai nodded eagerly. Maya stood very still and said nothing. "Begin when ready," Professor Veltar said, backing away quickly. Zexhai moved to the center of the arena and took a traditional Corvani combat stance. He was impressive, 8 feet tall, muscles visible even through his clothes, moving with the confidence of someone who had never lost a fight. Maya walked slowly to face him. She looked tiny beside his massive frame. The crowd murmured with sympathy for her. "Last chance to give up, little human," Zexhai said. "I do not want to hurt you." Maya looked up at him. Her voice was very quiet, but the arena's sound system picked it up clearly. "I know you do not want to hurt me," she said. "That is why I am sorry." "Sorry for what?" Zexhai asked. "For what happens next." Zexhai grinned and charged forward with a traditional Corvani battle roar. He moved fast for someone his size, crossing the space between them in 2 large steps. His massive fist swung toward Maya's head. Maya did not dodge. She did not block. She stepped forward into his attack. Her small hand caught his enormous fist and stopped it completely. The arena went silent. Even Zexhai's battle roar stopped mid-sound. For a moment, they stood frozen like a statue, the giant Corvani warrior and the tiny human girl, his fist trapped in her grip. Then Maya moved. She redirected Zexhai's momentum, using his own charging force against him. Her foot swept his legs with precise timing. Her other hand found the pressure point at the base of his neck. Zexhai, all 8 feet and 300 pounds of him, hit the padded floor hard. Maya knelt beside him, one hand still holding his wrist, the other at his throat. The whole thing took exactly 2.8 seconds. The arena was completely silent. No one moved. No one spoke. No one seemed to be breathing. Maya released Zexhai and stood up slowly. He lay on the floor, not injured but completely stunned. His eyes were wide with shock and confusion. "Combat complete," Maya said quietly to Professor Veltar. Professor Veltar's skin had gone completely white. "How?" she whispered. Maya looked around the arena at all the staring faces. Students, professors, academy staff, all looking at her like they had never seen her before. "May I explain?" Maya asked. Professor Veltar nodded, not trusting her voice. Maya walked to the center of the arena. Her voice was calm and clear. "Earth gravity is 2.3 times galactic standard," she began. "I have lived my entire life in gravity that would crush most of you. My bones are denser, my muscles stronger, my reflexes faster." She gestured to Zexhai, who was sitting up slowly. "Zexhai is very strong by galactic standards. On Earth, he would be considered normal strength for a human child." The crowd stirred uneasily. Maya continued. "Earth weather can change from freezing to burning in hours. Storms can destroy entire cities. We have learned to react instantly to danger." She paused, looking at the frightened faces in the crowd. "Our wildlife includes pack hunters that coordinate attacks better than military units. Ambush predators that can strike faster than your recording equipment can track. Flying predators with talons that can pierce metal." Dr. Okafor stood up in the viewing area. "Maya, perhaps that is enough explanation." Maya looked at her and shook her head. "They wanted to know what humans are capable of. They should know all of it." She turned back to the crowd. "Humans are persistence hunters. We do not give up. Ever. We track our prey for days until it collapses from exhaustion. We work in groups to surround and overwhelm anything that threatens us." Her voice got quieter but somehow more intense. "We eliminated our competition for resources by driving other predators to extinction. We changed the climate of our entire planet to suit our needs. We built weapons that can destroy cities, then built bigger weapons that can destroy planets." The arena was so quiet that every small sound seemed loud. "I have been holding back every moment since I arrived here," Maya continued. Every human who leaves Earth learns to move slowly, speak softly, and never use full strength around other species. She looked directly at HFY, who was staring at her in amazement. That demonstration was me still holding back. I used perhaps 10% of my actual capabilities. Professor Veltar found her voice. 10%? Maya nodded. If I had not held back, HFY would be in the medical bay right now. Maybe permanently. She looked around the arena one more time. Earth is not classified as a death world because of the weather or the wildlife, she said. It is classified as a death world because we live there. Maya walked toward the exit. At the door she stopped and looked back. This is why I tried to avoid fighting, she said. Some truths are frightening to learn. As she left, the arena remained silent. Hundreds of students and professors sat in stunned silence, trying to process what they had just witnessed. Jake was the first to move. He ran after Maya, catching up with her in the corridor. Maya, wait. She turned to look at him. Her face was sad. Are you afraid of me now? She asked. Jake looked at his friend, the quiet girl who had helped him with his studies, who had listened patiently to his questions about Earth culture, who had never once raised her voice or showed anger. No, he said, but I understand now why you are so quiet all the time. Maya smiled for the first time in weeks. It is not easy being a predator in a world full of prey. The morning after the combat demonstration, Maya woke up expecting to find her dormitory empty. She thought other students would be too afraid to be near her now. Instead, she found Jake waiting with breakfast for both of them. I thought you might not want to go to the cafeteria today, Jake said. Maya sat on her bed and accepted the food gratefully. Thank you. I thought you might request a room transfer. Why would I do that? Because now you know what I am. Jake tilted his head in that curious way of his. You are my friend who helped me understand quantum mechanics. You are the person who listened to me talk about home when I was homesick. You are Maya. Maya felt something tight in her chest loosen a little. Even knowing I could hurt you. Maya, you have been living in the same room with me for weeks. If you wanted to hurt me, you already would have. That afternoon, Maya went to her first class since the demonstration. She expected whispers, stares, maybe empty seats around her. Instead, she found something surprising. In combat theory, Professor Veltar had completely changed the lesson plan. Today we will discuss environmental adaptation and its effects on species development, the professor announced. Her skin showed excited yellow colors. Maya, would you join me at the front of the class? Maya hesitated. I prefer to sit in the back, I know you do. But today I think the class would benefit from your perspective. Maya walked slowly to the front of the classroom. Every eye was on her, but the expressions were different now. Instead of dismissive glances or amused looks, she saw curiosity. Some fear, yes, but also respect. Maya, can you explain how Earth's environment shaped human development? Professor Veltar asked. Maya looked out at her classmates. HFY was there, sitting in the front row. He had a bruise on his arm from where he hit the arena floor, but he was listening intently. Humans evolved on a world that was constantly trying to kill us, Maya said simply. We had to become very good at not dying. A Glitterwing student raised her tiny hand. What was the biggest challenge? Maya thought about this. Everything. The gravity made us strong. The weather made us adaptable. The predators made us smart. The limited resources made us cooperative. Cooperative? Asked a Mindari student. But you said humans eliminated other predators. We eliminated competition, Maya said. But we worked together to do it. Humans are pack hunters. We coordinate better than any other Earth species. Professor Veltar nodded approvingly. This is an excellent example of how environment shapes evolution. Each challenge Earth presented made humans more capable of handling the next challenge. HFY raised his hand. Maya, when we fought yesterday, you said you were still holding back. Can you explain what that means? Maya looked at him carefully. Are you sure you want to know? Yes. Maya was quiet for a moment, choosing her words carefully. Humans have something called an adrenaline response. When we are in real danger, our bodies change. We become stronger, faster, and more resistant to pain. Yesterday I was calm. If I had been truly fighting for my life, you would not have gotten back up. The classroom was very quiet. Several students looked uncomfortable. But, Maya continued, humans also have something else. We have the ability to choose not to use our full capabilities. We call it self-control. Why? Asked Lisa Park. Because being able to kill something and choosing not to is what makes us civilized, Maya said. After class, something unexpected happened. Instead of avoiding Maya, several students approached her. HFY was first. Maya, I owe you an apology. No, you do not, Maya said. You did not know. I was arrogant. I made assumptions based on your size and quiet nature. Maya nodded. Many people do. It is understandable. I have a request, HFY said. Would you be willing to train with me? I want to learn about human combat techniques. Maya looked surprised. Are you sure? Very sure. I have been the strongest student here for 3 years. Yesterday you showed me that strength without knowledge is useless. I want to learn. Training with me would be dangerous, Maya warned. I understand. I am willing to take that risk. Maya considered this. If I agree, you must follow my safety protocols exactly. No arguing, no modifications, no exceptions. Agreed. Over the following weeks, Maya's life at the academy changed completely. Instead of sitting alone at lunch, she found herself surrounded by students asking questions about Earth and human culture. Is it true that humans can survive in water for hours? Asked a Waterworld student. Some can, Maya said. We are very adaptable. What about the stories of humans fighting multiple predators at once? Asked another. That happens sometimes. Usually we try to avoid it. How do human children survive on such a dangerous world? Asked Pip. Maya smiled. Very carefully, and with a lot of help from adults. In her training sessions with HFY, Maya was extremely cautious. She moved slowly, explained every technique in detail, and stopped frequently to check if he was injured. You are being too gentle, HFY complained after a particularly easy sparring session. I am being appropriately careful, Maya corrected. HFY, if I accidentally broke your arm, it would take months to heal. If you accidentally broke mine, I would be back to normal in weeks. Because of the higher bone density? That and humans heal faster. Another adaptation to a dangerous world. Show me something more advanced, HFY requested. I promise I will be careful. Maya demonstrated a simple joint lock moving in slow motion so he could see every detail. Even slowed down, her movements had a deadly precision that impressed him. How long did it take you to learn this? He asked. I have been learning to fight since I was 4 years old, Maya said. On Earth, children start combat training as soon as they can walk. 4 years old? HFY was shocked. That is barely out of infancy. Earth children face dangers that would kill adult members of most other species, Maya explained. We learn earlier, we do not survive. Professor Veltar had redesigned her entire curriculum around Maya's insights. The class now studied how different environments created different survival strategies across the galaxy. Who can give me an example of environmental pressure creating evolutionary change? She asked. A student raised his hand. The Corvani developed large muscles because their world has many heavy objects to move. Good. Another example? The Mindari developed telepathy because their world has dense forests where visual communication was difficult, said another student. Excellent. Maya, what environmental pressure created human intelligence? Maya thought about this question. Everything, she said finally. Humans needed intelligence to survive climate change, to track prey, to avoid predators, to find food, to work together, to make tools. Intelligence was our answer to every challenge. And it worked, Professor Veltar noted. Humans became the dominant species on one of the most dangerous worlds in known space. After class, Maya walked with Jake back to their dormitory. The academy grounds looked the same as always. Peaceful gardens, gentle breezes, students relaxing on the grass. Do you miss Earth? Jake asked. Maya looked up at the alien sky. 2 small moons were visible in the afternoon light. Yes and no. What do you miss? The challenge, Maya said. Here everything is easy, safe. On Earth you have to work to survive every day. It makes you feel alive. What do you not miss? Maya smiled. The constant fear. Here I can relax. On Earth, relaxing can get you killed. They walked in comfortable silence for a while. Maya, Jake said eventually, why did your government really send you here? Maya had expected this question. They want humans to be able to live peacefully with other species. But first, other species need to understand what humans are. And what are humans? Maya stopped walking and looked at her friend. We are the result of 4 billion years of evolution on a world that never stopped trying to kill us. We are predators who learned to think. We are dangerous, she started walking again, but we are also capable of great kindness. We choose to be gentle with those weaker than ourselves. We choose to protect instead of destroy. That is why you were so quiet when you first arrived, Jake realized. You were choosing to be gentle. Every day, Maya said. Every interaction. Every moment they reached their dormitory. As they walked up the stairs, Jake said, "Thank you." "For what?" "For choosing to be gentle with me." "With all of us," Maya smiled. "Thank you for giving me a reason to make that choice." That evening, Maya received a message from Earth. Her supervisors were pleased with how she had handled the situation. The combat demonstration had been recorded and was being studied by xenobiologists across the galaxy. More importantly, several other worlds had requested human cultural advisors. Maya's careful revelation of human capabilities had opened doors for peaceful contact that had been closed before. "You have done well," the message said. "You have shown them what we are without making them too afraid of us." Maya sent back a short reply. "I showed them that we choose to be gentle. That is the most important thing they can know about humans." As she prepared for sleep, Maya felt something she had not felt since leaving Earth. She felt at home. Not because the Academy was like Earth. It was nothing like Earth. But because she had found her place here. She was the bridge between two very different kinds of people. She was the translator who helped predators and prey understand each other. It was a good purpose for a life. Outside her window, the alien stars shone peacefully in the calm night sky. Maya fell asleep to the sound of gentle wind and distant laughter, knowing